All right. Peace and blessings. Kwam Ya'ala Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered far and wide. First and foremost, we are going to give all praises to the Most High in the name of his heavenly begotten Son. So, with that being said, let us jump straight on in it. And today's lesson is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 32, the conduct of a righteous man. So, to start us off, we are going to go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So we are chosen to be the chosen people of the Most High God. And with that being such, we must conduct ourselves in a righteous and a holy manner. Let's get the book of Matthew, chapter 5, start at verse 13.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 13. And it reads, Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men.
So we also are the salt of the earth. We provide flavor. We set the standard. Everything gets its flavor, gets its overall vibe based off of us. So if the salt has lost its savor, meaning that Israel stopped doing the things that made them right, what good is it? None. And we constantly see that we are trodden under the foot of every single nation and every single people group on the face of this earth. Let's throw in something here. Let's get the book of Baruch, and we're gonna go to chapter 3, and we're gonna get verse 8.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power.
So we are yet this day in the land of our what? Captivity, because the salt has lost its savor. We have forgotten that we are God's chosen people, and we're falling off. So we have to, and we must conduct ourselves in a righteous way so that we can be set back on the very, very top. Let's go back to Matthew 5 and let's get verse 14.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
We are also the light of the world, meaning that we got to be A1 on everything, because everyone looks towards the light. Everyone needs a light source to be able to see. So we have to be the very best at any given time. 15.
Verse 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it on a bushel, but on a candlestick, and give it light unto all that are in the house.
So don't hold back your service to the Most High. Show your good works. Show them at the very forefront of who you are. Be on point at any given time. 16, please.
Verse 16, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Let your light shine and your good works show. You have to conduct yourself in a righteous manner. So let us go on, jump straight into our main topic for the day. The book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach. We're going to start chapter 32, verse 1.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 1. If thou be made a master of a feast, lift not thyself up, but be among them as one of rest. Take diligent care for them, and so sit down.
So Sirach chapter 32 starts off telling us how to act when we throw a party, feast, a celebration, family get together, all of that. So the first thing said here is that you not lift yourself up. So don't make everything about you. That's how this birthday celebration, what folks claim this is my day and this is my birthday week and my birthday month, Scorpio season, etc., etc. What is that? Stop lifting yourself up. Nothing about you matters. It is all about the Most High God, man. So then it goes on saying that once you are done, sit down. Don't be making the scene, walking around trying to give everybody body shots and trying to mouth drink everybody and all that. Sit down, man. Verse 2.
Verse 2. And when thou hast done all thy office, take thy place, that thou mayest be merry with them, and receive a crown for thy well ordering of the feast.
So handle your business and then do what? Enjoy yourself. It don't gotta be about you. If you're throwing a party or a feast day or a gathering, chill out, man. Let's get the book of Romans chapter 12, start at verse 10.
It's the book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 10. And it reads, be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love, in honor preferring one another.
Read.
Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord.
So treat your people with love and then take care of your business. Have things set up right and then have fun. But in you having fun and you taking care of your business, stay fervent in the spirit and serve the Most High God. Let's go back to Sirach chapter 32 and let's get verse 3.
It's the book of Sirach chapter 32 and verse 3. Speak though thou art the elder, for it becometh thee, but with sound judgment, and hinder not music.
So a elder speaks when it's time to speak, and an elder speaks in judgment. But during this feast day, don't be stopping the music, because we are a lively people. We like to turn up. We like to have a good time and all of that. But still, use judgment doing it. Let's get the book of First Chronicles, chapter 15 and verse 16.
The book of First Chronicles, chapter 15 and verse 16, and it reads, and David spake of the chief of the Levites to appoint their brethren to be singers with instruments of music, psalteries and harps, cymbals, sounding by lifting up the voice with joy.
Man, we always been turning it up. We always been singing. We always been playing music. And and also guess what? Going back to our first verse, we are above everyone on the face of the earth. So guess what? We played music better than anybody else. So don't stop that. Have a great time, but be righteous while you do it. Moving forward, let's get the book of Psalms, chapter 33. Start at verse 1.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 33, and verse 1. Rejoice in the Lord, O ye righteous, for praise is comely for the upright.
Man, turn up for the Most High. Read on.
Verse 2. Praise the Lord with heart. Sing unto him with the psaltery and an instrument of 10 strings.
So don't be hindering music. Let that play, man, but let it be some good, fun, clean music. Read on.
Verse 3. Sing unto him a new song. Play skillfully with a loud noise.
Wait. Are you supposed to play it basically?
Play skillfully with a loud noise.
I thought that you just supposed to turn on some Chief Keef and ride a rebel, shooting, killing, thugging at the feast day. No, sing a new song. Sing something good. Don't be caught up in this FNF and all that bull out there now. Listen to something that will lighten your spirit, that will get your soul on fire. Stop falling for the okie doke. Going back to Sirach chapter 32, let's get verse 4.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 4. Pour not out words where there is a musician, and show not forth wisdom out of time.
So you gotta know when to let the music vibe out, man. Because shoot, you coming up just trying to just spew out wisdom at the wrong time, just to seem that you smart, to seem that you in these scripts, just to prove it to other people. You are going off, man. Let's get the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, start at verse 1.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Everything
has its season. There is a time where you gotta bring out the scripts. There's a time when you gotta debate your cause. There is time for it, but don't forget that there's also time to relax, to have on fun and all of that too.
Con, let me get a precept. Ecclesiastes chapter 5.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5. I think I got that plan too, but go on, bring it out. Go on, bring it out. There's nothing wrong bring it out twice. Nothing wrong at all with that.
All right, 5 verse 1.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
Right. So the scriptures say, "Keep thy foot." Mean keep your mouth closed.
That's right.
You know, we gotta be more ready to listen, humble ourselves down, you know, than to give the sacrifice of fools, meaning our own folly, our own belly. Right. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High. For the Most High is in heaven, and thou art upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few.
Hey, let your words be few, man. Especially if you around some brothers that may be a little bit more wise than you. Like the brother was just bringing out in Sirach 32 about the elder, speaking first, right? So we got to learn how to keep our foot, keep our mouth, and be a man of few words, especially if we're around elders and things like that. Are you?
Beautiful point, brother. Beautiful point. All right. Let's bring out this one more time. Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, and verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
All right. And verse 7. Dang, hold on. Salakia, people. See what I'm dealing with the MacBook, so this is new to me, but it's all praises to the Most High that these scriptures are still coming out. All right, let us get verse 7.
Verse 7. A time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak.
There's a time to be silent, meaning to shut up, and then there's a time to speak. You gotta have balance, man. Got to. All right. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 7.
The book of Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 7. A wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity, but a babbler and a fool will regard no time.
So a wise man knows when to chill out. This is part of being balanced. But a fool loves to make things about them, and they never shut up, man. See, the problem is we are in a quote unquote flex culture now, where like everyone thinks that they're the best, is that they got the most, that, and people can't even have a normal good time without bringing in some doggone folly. A wise man holds his tongue, so he knows how to shut up, then he waits for his turn. That's it. Point blank, period. Let's go back to Sirach 32, and we're going to get verse 5.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32, and verse 5. And it reads, a concert of music and a banquet of wine is a signet of carbuncle. Say it again. Carbuncle set in gold.
So music and some good drink is a valuable thing. It ain't nothing better than sitting back with some good music and they cup in your hand, man. That is a precious thing. Let's get Psalms. Salakia. Boy, these Macs something else, I swear. Let's get Psalms chapter 100. Start at verse 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 100, and verse 1. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands.
Read.
Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing.
And turn up for the most high. That's it. Turn up for him. Seriously. All right. Let's get verse 6.
Book of Sirach, chapter 32, and verse 6. A signet of an emerald set in a work of gold, so is the melody of music with pleasant wine. So you got music and you pair it up with some wine. Hey, that's a pleasant time there. There is nothing wrong with you having a drink in moderation. There is nothing wrong with listening to some music in moderation. Everything
is about balance. Balance, 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 balance. All right, let's get the book of Sirach. We're gonna go chapter 31, start at verse 27.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 31, and verse 27. Wine is as good as life to a man, if it be drunk moderately. What life is, then to a man is without wine, for it was made to make man glad.
Hey man, wine was made to make you glad. So have a drink, but do it what? In moderation. Read on.
Verse 28. Wine measurably drunk in a season bringeth gladness to the heart and cheerfulness of the mind.
Read.
But wine drunken with excess maketh bitterness of the mind, with brawling and quarreling.
Because when you drunk, you are a damn fool. You out here wilding, you taking your pants off, you peeing on everybody by the car. You want to fight, you want to twerk, you want to say with the phone up, taking your Snapchats videos and all that. You effeminate. You effeminate. Cause you out here drunker than Cooter Brown, man. Stop that. Read on.
God. Verse 30. Drunkenness increases the rage of a fool till he offend. It diminishes strength and maketh wounds.
Because nobody likes to be around the drunk person at the doggone party. They coming up, hey, turn up, man. Hey, man, nobody want to hear that. Get yourself right, brother. Read on.
Verse 31. Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not at his mirth. Give him no despiteful words, and press not upon him with urging him to drink.
And don't be checking folks' cups. Man, if a person doesn't want to drink, they don't got to drink. Don't be trying to force them to. Don't be pouring them shots, sliding it to them. Just let that man chill. Because now you are creating a stumbling block. Because you don't know who been on struggling with that drunken spirit. You don't know how some folks get when they drinking too much. Chill out, man, and be mindful in your mirth. Let's get the book of Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 20.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 20. Wine and music rejoice the heart, but the love of wisdom is above them both.
Man, it is cool to drink. It's cool to listen to some music, but it ain't nothing better than the wisdom of the Most High God. Nothing better. I will give up drinking. I will give up music. I will give up anything just to have this wisdom, man.
That's
it's
right.
Beautiful. All right. Let's go back to Sirach chapter 32, and we're going to get verse 7.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 7. Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked.
Now we get into the young man that needs to conduct himself right. So if you're a young man, showed up to the feast day, showed up to the party and all of that, man, make yourself available. Make yourself ready to do work, man. Because these are folks that have lived way, way longer. These are folks that know way more. And these are folks that need help. Be there ready to work, whether that's going to pick up ice, whether that's going to walk on elderly sister to the car. anything, man, anything. And it says, and yet scarcely when thou art asked twice, right? So don't be lollygagging around. Be quick to help, man. Let's get the book of Proverbs. We're gonna go chapter 6, start at verse 6.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise.
So take the example of the ant here and be wise. Read on.
Verse 7. Which having no guide, overseer, or ruler,
Read.
provideth her meat in the summer and gather her food in the harvest.
So these ants, right? It ain't no one coming by the desk saying, "Hey, you had sent out that email," or "Hey, you had did this and that," or breaking down on a more so basic level. You are a young man at the party. Someone said, "Hey, could you go and grab on ice?" And it's been 10 minutes and you still haven't moved. Stop being a sluggard, man. Go do some work. Read on verse 9.
God, verse 9. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep?
And when are you going to stop being lazy? Stop being lazy. Do right to your elders, man. Take care. Do right. All right. Let's go to the book of 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 5.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For the Most High resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble.
Listen, man. Ye young men, do right to your elders. Do right to them. And be humble. Because what? The Most High hates pride, but he is gracious towards the people who are humble and that listen. But on the flip side of it, you got some elders that be telling you some doggone bull. So if doggone Uncle man said, "Hey, can you bring me back five blunts and some lean?" No. Well, you supposed to respect your elders, and I didn't ask you to do all this. Well, let's see what these scriptures say about it. Let's get the book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 8.
The book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 8. Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish, and the extreme age that contendeth with those that are young. Thus shalt thou be truly learned and approved of all men living. Salah.
So if you have a foolish elder, man, don't be scared, don't be ashamed, don't feel any type of way when you tell them no, or when you tell them that they are wrong. Because that is what a righteous man should be doing. Hate the evil, love the good. All right. Let's go back to Sirach 32 and let's get verse 8.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 8. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue.
So don't give a lot of back talk. That means that you need to take your orders and go and do them, right? Let's get the book of Proverbs. We're going to go chapter 17, verse 27.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 27. He that have knowledge spareth his words, and a man of understanding is of excellent spirit.
So a knowledgeable man rarely speaks. He holds his words back and he waits for the right time to use them. Read on.
Verse 28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding.
Even a fool, when they shut the hell up, they are considered wise. The scriptures are very, very plain, people. Very plain. Let's get verse 9.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 9. If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, use not many words.
Man, when it's someone wiser, when it's someone smarter, when it's someone more powerful, don't be trying to doggone stand up tall and put your chest out with them and try to flex your little on with wisdom you done got. So once again, we are gonna bring out this. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 1.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
Hey man, shut up. Simple, shut up. Because when you talk too much, you're not even considering that you are doing evil. So shut up, man. Easily. All right, let us get the book of Sirach, chapter 21 and verse 15.
The book of Sirach, chapter 21 and verse 15. And it reads, if a skillful man hear a wise word, he will commend it and add unto it. But as soon as one of no understanding heareth it, he displeaseth him. It displeaseth him, and he cast it behind his back.
So a skillful man will be in that area with the wise men and will shut up and will wait his turn to speak. But a fool hates a wise word. A fool hates to listen. A fool is gonna show up trying to act like they know something when they don't know jack squat. So shut up, man. All right, let's get the book of Sirach, chapter 32, and let's get verse 10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 10. Before the thunder goeth lightning, and before a shamefaced man shall go favor.
Favor goes before a considerate man. So a man that has considered, maybe I shouldn't be talking now. Maybe I should take care of my elders. Maybe I should see if I'm needed. Maybe I should just learn to shut up. That man has nothing but favor to go in front of him. Isn't that beautiful, man? That is beautiful. All right, let's get verse 11.
Verse 11. Rise up betimes, and be not the last, but get thee home without delay.
And don't be the last person at somebody's house. Go home. Don't be that. Hey, so what are you guys doing later on? Don't be him. Take your butt home, because guess what? Genesis chapter 25 and verse 27.
Genesis chapter 25 and verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
Hey, Jacob loves to go home. So are you an Israelite? Take your butt home, man. Chill out. All right. Let's get the book of Ecclesiastes 32 and verse 12.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 32, and verse 12. There take thy pastime, and do what thou wilt, but sin not by proud speech.
Hey man, when you go home, you can do whatever you want to there, if it be in righteousness. So don't be just staying at someone's house till 4-5 in the morning just to hang out. Go home. Simple. All right, let's get verse 13.
God, verse 13. And for these things bless him that made thee, and have replenished thee with his good things.
And give praise to the Most High for even giving you a home, for even giving you pleasures, giving you things that you like. Thank him for it. Let's get 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 18.
The book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 18. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of the Most High in Hamashiach Yahushua concerning you.
It's the will of the Most High in the name of his only begotten Son that you give him thanks. Give him thanks that you done had a great time. Give him thanks that you got to be with your people. Give him thanks that you got a chance to eat, drink, and listen to some good music in this wicked world. Give him thanks for it. But once you're done, go home, because you're still in captivity and you still got things to do, and you still got to live. You still got to take care of your family. You got business. You got work in the morning. And you need a doggone bath too. Go home. All right. Let's get the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 1.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 34 and verse 1. And it reads, Salakia, when he changed his behavior before Abimelech, who drove him away, and he departed, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth.
The praises of the Most High God should continually be in your mouth. Thanking him for everything. Thank him for everything. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad.
Hey, the only thing that you should ever boast in is the Most High God, because he chose you to be a holy people above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Man, these scripts are beautiful. Anyway, back to Sirach 32. Let's get verse 14.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 14. Whoso feareth the Most High will receive his discipline, and they that seek him early shall find favor.
So whoever truly loves and fears and respects the Most High will not be offended at discipline or correction. It's a lot of folks that we know that'll say, well, God told me directly that I can do this. That's cap. That's a lie. Because you're not taking heed to correction. You are taking heed to your own soul. You are taking heed to what you want to do and not what you were told to do. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. All right, let's get the book of wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5.
The book of wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding. It will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in.
Discipline doesn't hang with sin. If you're sinning, if you're breaking these laws, you will not have any discipline, which means that you will be wild, which means you will be chaotic, which means you will do everything under the sun, and which means you will not make it to the kingdom. So get yourself some discipline. Back to Sirach 32, let's get verse 15.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 15. He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith, but the hypocrite will be offended thereat.
So whoever seeks to do the law will be filled with it. This simply means that if you truly choose to submit to the Most High God, you will have his laws constantly on your mind. And you will make sure that you don't break them. It will always be on your mind. But a hypocrite, someone that will say, I love God and I've been going to church forever and Jesus is my best friend. They don't really love the Most High God because they hate to keep the law. A hypocrite is offended at the law. If you tell a hypocrite you shouldn't eat on a pork, they'll be like, well, God said don't call anything unclean. You don't even know where that verse is, one. Number two, you haven't studied. Number three, you just read Paul. And number four, you don't know the Bible. Let's get the book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 27.
Book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 27. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto the whited sepulchres, which indeed whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanliness.
So Hamashiach has likened a hypocrite to a gravesite. So you got all this beautiful artwork on you, and you've been cleaned up nice, and you just look so nice on the outside, and Jesus is your best friend and all of that, but you're full of death because you're a hypocrite and you hate the law, which would bring you to life. Because we already know the book of John, chapter 6, verse 663 says, what up?
It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
They are life. If you hate this word, if you hate the laws, you hate life. And our dearly beloved Savior said that you are like a gravesite full of dead men's bones, because you are the walking dead and you will not be cleansed. But can these dry bones live though? All right, moving forward. Let's get verse 16.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 16. They that fear the Lord shall find judgment and shall kindle justice as a light.
That's powerful, though. Powerful. They that fear the Lord shall find judgment and shall kindle justice as a light, meaning that is their standard. That's beautiful. Let's get the book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10.
The book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And you get a good understanding by doing his commandments. So, where were we at? So,
Just did verse 16.
fear. They that fear. If you fear the Lord, you will do his commandments. Now, let us get into this justice part here. Let's get the book of Tobit, chapter 13, and we're going to start at verse 3.
Book of Tobit, chapter 13 and verse 3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them.
A righteous man boldly confesses the Most High. He isn't scared. He will stand up boldly and do and say what his God says. Read on.
Verse 4. There declare his greatness and extol him before all the living, for he is our Lord, and he is the power our fathers forever.
Even in our captivity, even when we are scattered, confess the name of your God. Read on.
Verse 5. And he will scourge us for our iniquities, and will have mercy again, and will gather us out of all nations among whom he hath scattered us.
And if we do this, he will save us from our enemies. That is justice. Read on.
Verse 6. If ye turn to him with your whole heart and with your whole mind, and deal uprightly before him, then he will turn unto you and will not hide his face from you. Therefore, see what he will do with you, and confess him with your whole mouth, and praise the Lord of might, and extol the everlasting King. In the land of my captivity do I praise him, and declare his might and majesty to a sinful nation. O ye sinners, turn and do justice before him. Who can tell if he will accept you and have mercy on you?
This is how you carry justice as a light. Keep it on you. Keep it in you. Spread it out. All right, let's get the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 1.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, brethren, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
It's your reasonable service to give up everything for the Most High God. That's it.
That's right.
All right, let's get verse 17.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will.
So a sinful man will find an excuse for everything that they do. They do not stand as a man. They do not gird up their loins. They are just sinful men. And let's get the book of Sirach, chapter 15 and verse 20.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 15 and verse 20. He hath commanded no man to do wickedly, neither hath he given any man license to sin.
But I thought that you can have an excuse for your sin, huh?
Neither hath he given any man license to sin.
You have no excuse to do any sin. The Most High is not playing with you. Shoot, a brother want to bring out something.
Yeah, I bring out one precept. That's cool, brother. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
Hey, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. A fool is not going to be reproved, as the brother was just bringing out, but findeth an excuse, to according to his will, according to his mind, according to whatever his vain opinion may be. But I yield.
Excellent. And also, let's see how the Most High feels about it. Let's get the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 6.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners. For the Most High hateth sinners.
But I thought he hates the sin and he loves the sinner.
For the Most High hateth sinners.
Wow. Read.
And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
Hey man, the Most High hates sinners. So if you are a sinner, a repeat offender, the Most High hates you. Did I say it? Did the brothers on this call say it? Or did the Most High say it? Yeah, grace. Okay, all right. Keep on keeping on. Hey, what is that man, the old folks always say, hey, just keep on living. But you're actually dying. All right, moving on. Let's get the book of Sirach, chapter 32. I'm going to get verse 18.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 18. A man of counsel will be considerate, but a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear, even of himself when he have done without counsel.
So a considerate man does absolutely nothing without counsel. Read on.
Verse 19. Do nothing without advice. Do nothing without advice.
I mean, you can do most things.
Do nothing without advice.
Read.
And when thou have once done, repent not.
Hey man, don't do nothing without sound, righteous advice. Let's get the book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 22.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 22. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors, they are established.
In the multitude of counselors, purposes are established. So don't do nothing without some wise counsel. Let's get the book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and 14.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 14. Where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
And there is safety in some good old-fashioned, righteous, biblical, law-abiding counsel. That's it, though. Back in Sirach chapter 32, let's get verse 20.
It's the book of Sirach chapter 32 and verse 20. Go not in a way wherein thou mayest fall, and stumble not among the stones.
Hey man, don't fall for the okie doke. All right, let's get Sirach 12 and 16.
Book of Sirach chapter 12 and verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to overthrow thee into a pit, and he will weep with his eyes. But if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
And don't be checking with your enemies. Actually, we are going to scroll up to verse 10.
Verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Hey, trust him.
Never trust thine enemy.
It's all right if y'all end up having lunch and y'all are friends now.
Never trust thine enemy.
Read.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So just how we know that iron is sure to rust, your enemy is sure to be what? Wicked. And though they speak all kind, man, I really care about the Black community. I really sympathize with yonder police brutality, because you know I'm a shaky guy too, so I get pulled over all the time. That's a lie. He wants to throw you in a doggone pit. Once again, don't fall for the okie doke. All right, let's get the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, start at verse 14.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 4, and verse 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not into the way of evil men.
Don't be with evil men. Read on.
Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away.
If it's somebody that you know is always going off, always doing something with wicked, always showing up saying, I got 5 on it, and always doing this and that, turn from them. Easy. All right, let's get the book of Romans, chapter 14 and verse 13.
The book of Romans, chapter 14 and verse 13. And it reads, let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way.
And on the flip side, don't be the brother causing other brothers and sisters to go off. Don't provide a stumbling block, remove it. All right. Let's go back to Sirach 32, verse 21.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 21. Be not confident in a plain way.
Hey, man, don't be proud to be stupid. Don't be walking up to, for instance, a doggone. Don't be walking up to a architect trying to tell him how to build the house. This man did it. This man's been doing it. Don't be confident in no plain way, because that doesn't make you anything but a doggone fool. Let's get the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 22.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
Man, how long will you be a doggone fool? How long? And fools hate knowledge. So are you a fool? And if you are, change. Come back to these laws. Come back to some real faith and get yourself right. Let's get Sirach 32 and 22.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 22. And be aware of thine own children.
Hey, watch out for your kids, because they could be causing you to go off too. Let's get the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 6.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
If you start them off young, they gonna be right when they're old. Start them off now, learning these laws. Start them off reading. Start them off getting in this book some way. Teach them to love their God. Teach them to be the chosen people that are above all the other people. Teach them to be the salt. Teach them to be the light. Teach them to be a man Teach them to be a woman. Teach them to be a husband. Teach them to be a father. And don't teach them to be a doggone they. Because we not playing that. There's man, there is woman. Train them up right, and they won't go wrong. All right. Let's get Sirach 32 and 23.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 32, and verse 23. In every good work, trust in thy own soul, for this is the keeping of the commandments.
Hey, when you're doing right, when you're doing good works, you can trust that because you're keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. Let's get Deuteronomy 10. Start at verse 12.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, and verse 12. And now, Israel, what does the Lord thy power require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy power, and to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
Read.
To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
This is for your good. This is your good works. This is what is required of you, to fear the Lord. And we know that the fear of the Lord comes by doing the commandments. To walk in all his ways is to keep his commandments. To love him, pursuant to 1 John 5 and 3 is what? To keep his commandments. To serve him is to keep his commandments. And you're supposed to do that with your whole mind and your whole being. And it once again says to keep the commandments, which I command you. He is giving straight commandment. There ain't nothing hidden. There ain't no loopholes. There is nothing. It's straight commandment, and it's for your good. That is your good works. And to cap us off, verse 24.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32, and verse 24. He that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to the commandment, and he that trusteth in him shall fare never the worse.
I thought that all you had to do was believe.
He that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to the commandment.
So by this verse here, belief takes an action. You can't just say that you believe, you have to prove it. All right, let's get Joshua chapter 22 and verse 5.
The book of Joshua, chapter 22 and verse 5. But take diligent heed to the commandment and the law, which Moses, the servant of the Lord, charged you, to love your Lord, your power, and to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments, and to cleave unto him, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul.
So are we starting to see a pattern here? I believe that pattern of how to conduct yourself as a righteous man or a righteous woman is to fear the Most High God and keep his commandments. That's right. Because when you keep his commandments, you cannot go off. You will not show up drunk. You will not overly talk. You will not be doing anything wrong. You'll be taking heed to wise on counsel. And on top of all that, keeping the commandments makes you what? Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
When you keep the commandments, you become the holy people that are chosen to be above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And with that, I say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, Shalom.